Hey, this is Justin7 with Are You Serious? Featuring 12bet. Now I have a bizarre case here. 12bet was offering a bonus, but they had some unusual terms for their sign-up bonus. It was 20% bonus with a 10 times rollover, and that's not so unusual. But they had two other terms buried in their fine print. The first is that only bets placed at odds of 2.0 or higher count towards rollover. So for American players, for example, if you bet a game at minus 110, which most bets are, it wouldn't count. The second thing that's unusual is if you do not meet your rollover within 30 days, not only do they void your bonus, they void all your winnings from the entire account. And to clarify this, I actually had a couple of complaints where this happened. A player deposits 1,200 euros. He gets he gets a 225 or 230 euro bonus. He wins about 5,186 euros, but he doesn't meet the rollover. So they void the bonus and they void all his winnings and say, well, here, you can have your deposit back. Another player had a similar situation. He put in a ton of rollover, but he didn't do the right, low enough odds bets, and 3,250 euros in winnings were confiscated again for not meeting the rollover quick enough. We had a third player who had actually spent some time, studied the terms, and was on track to meet the rollover. And then his bonus was cut. His limits were cut to 100. And when he was still pressing and trying hard to meet the rollover, they cut his limits again to 50. So in this case, even if you read the rules, 12bet is taking things to make it impossible for you to meet your bonus so they can steal your whole balance. So you look at these rules. Now, some people read it and they say, well, you're responsible for the rules because you agreed to it. And that's not really true. In English and American law, contracts are ruled by what they call a boilerplate clause. If you have something in fine print, in the bottom of the contract that's not what you expect, the rule is courts don't expect people to read contracts. They especially don't expect consumers to read contracts that are written by someone else. In this case, the Sportsbook wrote them. Now, the contracts can be used against a Sportsbook, but if you have anything in there that's unusual, normally you can't enforce that against a player. And in this case, you have two rules that are very unusual. You have, odds of greater than 2.0. So basically, only underdogs count for rollover. And a 30-day, I'm going to take all your winnings and bonus clause if you don't meet the rollover. So these rules are, no other book I've ever seen has any rule like that. Now, I've seen some that say we don't want you to bet odds less than 1.5, which again I think is irrational because as long as you have your odds set right, you're going to get your hold no matter what they bet. But that said, they have these crazy rules. These rules are not designed to protect them from bonus abusers. These are what they call gotcha rules. That is, if somebody isn't aware of the rules, gotcha. They get not only your deposit, but if you happen to win, they take all your winnings. So this is a complete fraud. 12bet, by writing these rules and trying to enforce them, is basically defrauding players. Now, I had another dispute. Normally, I wouldn't pay too much attention to just one complaint like this, but there was another complaint against 12bet where a player actually just placed a straight bet, beat them on the bet, and he bet a soccer in-game at odds 1.77. And then the next day he came back and he saw that the odds had been changed to 2.77. Odds were changed in his favor mysteriously, and then they void the bet. So player argues that they changed the bet. 12bet had no response to this, and they also didn't really respond to any of the other allegations. So for now, I would say 12bet, are you serious? If you are, you're a fraud. Guys, don't play here. Justin7, Sportsbook Review.